Hi, thanks for joining me, Yoga Pose, on my podcast. In this mini episode, I'm talking about forgiveness. So many years ago, it was like 10 years now. I'm so old. So about 10 years ago, I was working in Cambodia for a human rights NGO. I was living in this beautiful country, making some amazing friends, enjoying new food and getting to grips with what to do with long hair in 70% humidity. Never experienced anything like that before. And the answer was to just braid it, just plait it, get rid of it, deal with that when I came home. But whilst having the best time, I spent 10 hours a day working for this NGO and understanding the devastating and very, very recent history of the Khmer Rouge. It was shocking. I was having the best time, feeling super safe living out there by myself. But what had happened under the Khmer Rouge, under Pol Pot, was so horrific. It was a real juxtaposition. I felt guilty about having a wonderful, amazing time. And I'm a passionate person. And I found myself getting angry about what had happened and how could people treat each other this way. And I even started getting annoyed with the tuk-tuk drivers because they were always pestering me to go to the killing fields. And that had become a major tourist attraction because it was a nice long fare for them. They earned a good amount of money for taking me to the killing fields. I never actually went to the killing fields. It was too horrific. Just the thought of it made me feel really ill and uncomfortable. So with all of this in mind, forgiveness is a really heavy topic. There's loads of stuff we can forgive ourselves for, forgive other people for. Particularly when I noticed, in this instance, I was feeling angry and annoyed about stuff that wasn't directly related to me. And it was interfering with my experience of being out there and working with these people, these tuk-tuk drivers who wanted a long fare. When I took a bit of time to reflect, I get it. They lived through some real horrors and deprivation, and now they had an opportunity to earn money and to support their family. It kind of makes more sense that they were very keen to drive me out there. And I wanted to share a lesson from Maha Gosananda, and he was a Buddhist monk. And after the Khmer Rouge, Gosananda greeted the first influx of Cambodian refugees on the Thai border. And he reminded these refugees who had struggled so much to get there, he reminded them of the Buddha's words, that hatred will never cease by hatred. Hatred can only cease by love. And he worked for many years in these camps, establishing Buddhist temples for refugees who had experienced the horrors of Pol Pot. When asked to describe his work and his goals in the camps, he would say, "I was making peace with myself. When you make peace with yourself, you make peace with the world." So yogis, perhaps the essence of forgiveness is just that. Making peace with ourselves. We make peace with our outrage, with our helplessness, anger and resentment. And once we've made peace with all of those painful aspects of ourselves, we can cease hating and we allow love to come forth. So with this in mind, I invite you to settle back into a seated meditation posture. In here we practice a moment or two of self-acceptance as you breathe naturally. And then bring your hands onto the front of your rib cage. And start to invite the breath into that space underneath your hands. Very much breathing into the front of your ribs. Now slide your hands to the sides of your ribs. And direct your breathing to the space underneath your hands. Breathing now into the sides of your rib cage. And now take the hands to the back of your ribs, inviting your breath to the back, that space underneath your hands. And then let the hands relax in your lap. And you're going to try to invite the breath into the front, sides, and back of the ribs as you breathe in. And then soften and empty those areas as you breathe out. So this is 3-dimensional breathing. Enjoy a few more moments of this 3-dimensional breathing, feeling the ribs really expand on the inhale and soften, contract on the exhale. And then starting to prepare to leave your meditation, maybe the breath deepens a little. Start to blink the eyes open and take in your surroundings. And maybe you notice you feel a little more at peace with yourself. And as Gosananda would tell us, when you make peace with yourself, you make peace with the world. Thank you so much for listening. You can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook, Do Your Om Thing, and my website is doyouromthing.co.uk.